All right, so today we're going to be looking at hiking's ultimate test, they call it.
Yeah.
The GR20 in Corsica.
It's a good one.
This isn't just like some walk in the park.
No.
We're talking about a route that is so demanding that it practically like chews up hiking boots and spits them out.
Yeah, they just disintegrate.
I'm sure you've heard the stories, but we're
uh.
going to be going beyond the legends and getting into like the nitty-gritty using Wikipedia as our guide today.
Yeah, Wikipedia is a great place to start to kind of get a sense of its legendary status. Thousands of hikers, they flock to this trail every year looking for, a challenge and the beauty.
But it's not just the scenery.
Right.
What is it that makes this trail so notorious?
Yeah.
We're talking 110 miles across Corsica
Yeah.
with like 12,000 meters of elevation gain.
Yeah, that's right. And it's that combination of distance and elevation and just the rugged terrain that makes it so tough.
Yeah.
Especially the northern section.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just jagged, rocky paths,
Straight up.
straight up the mountainside.
I've seen that picture of that like worn out hiking boot
Oh, yeah.
that they found near the end of the trail.
Oh, my gosh.
The sole's practically gone.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what kind of gear you need to even attempt something like that.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you ever encountered such demanding terrain, and what gear did you rely on?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Footwear is paramount.
Oh, for sure.
You need boots that can withstand just constant pounding,
Yeah.
on rocks. You need the ankle support, and they got to stay comfortable for days on end.
Yeah.
So a lot of people even go with trail running shoes
Okay.
just because they're lighter and more breathable.
Makes sense.
But you're giving up a little bit of that protection.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the right balance,
Right. So even your footwear choices
Totally.
become a strategic decision on the GR20.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so speaking of strategy, let's talk about the trail itself.
Okay.
It's essentially divided into these two sections.
Right.
Itself. Meeting at Visivona,
That's right.
what's the significance of this midway point?
Well, Visivona, because of its train station, it acts as a gateway to the GR20.
Okay.
So it allows hikers to choose their own adventure,
Right.
Do they want to do the full 15-day trek, or do they want to just do a shorter section?
Okay.
So the northern part from Calanzana to Visivona, that's generally considered the toughest.
Got it.
Yeah.
So given that the GR20 is often completed over multiple days,
Right.
where do hikers find shelter along the way?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not all five-star hotels and catered meals.
No, you're right about that.
Right.
You'll find refuges along the GR20,
Okay.
which are these rustic mountain huts.
Okay.
They provide basic accommodations,
Yeah.
some food, and it's more than just a place to sleep, though.
All right.
It becomes like a mini community
Oh, cool.
where hikers from all walks of life come together. They share stories, meals, advice.
Nice.
There's real camaraderie that develops.
Oh, wow. So it's not just about the physical challenge.
It's also about like the social experience of being on the trail.
Yeah.
So what's the etiquette like in these refuges?
It's
Are there any unspoken rules for first-timers?
Well, space is limited, so it's all about being respectful and considerate.
Okay.
Helping prepare meals, keeping the noise level down,
Right.
sharing chores.
Okay.
It's just part of the refuge culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very unique experience.
So that's fascinating. It sounds like that the refuges offer this glimpse into like a different way of life,
Totally.
even if just for a few nights.
Yeah.
But for those seeking solitude as wild, camping an option on the GR20.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, really?
Camping is only permitted near the refuges
Okay.
in designated areas.
I got it.
This helps minimize the environmental impact and ensure safety. We want to preserve the natural beauty that draws people to the GR20.
For sure, leaving no trace.
Yeah,
So we've talked about the gear, the refuges, and the overall challenge.
right.
But what about those that take it to the extreme?
Yeah, the GR20 has its fair share of speed records, right?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always someone who's looking to push the limits.
Of course.
The fastest known times are incredible.
Yeah, what are they?
So for the men, Lambert Santelli completed it in just over 30 hours.
What?
And then for the women, Annelise Rousset did it in just over 35 hours.
I'm genuinely curious what kind of preparation goes into tackling a trail of this magnitude,
Right.
that speed.
It goes far beyond physical fitness.
Yeah.
These athletes are meticulously planning their nutrition, their hydration,
Wow.
their gear, their pacing strategies. They're battling sleep deprivation, muscle fatigue,
Oh my gosh.
and the mental challenge of pushing through pain.
It's a remarkable feat.
It really is.
Those times are mind-boggling. I can't even imagine running a marathon.
Right.
in that time frame, let alone navigating this terrain of the GR20.
Yeah.
It really puts the scale of this trail into perspective.
That does.
But let's not forget that the GR20 isn't the only option for experiencing the beauty of Corsican hiking. You mentioned some alternatives earlier, like the Mare Monti and the Mare trails.
Yeah, these trails offer a fantastic way to explore Corsica's diverse landscapes without the extreme demands of the GR20.
Yeah.
They're known for the stunning coastal views, the charming villages, and a more relaxed pace, making them ideal for hikers of like various experience levels.
So for someone who's maybe done some hiking,
right,
but isn't quite ready for the intensity of the GR20, how would you compare these alternatives in terms of difficulty?
Well, they both involve ascents and descents.
Okay.
But the terrain is generally less technical.
Okay.
The distances are shorter.
Yeah.
They offer a great balance between challenge and enjoyment.
Makes sense.
Allowing hikers to kind of savor the scenery
Right.
and immerse themselves in that Corsican culture.
So it's like a sampler platter.
Totally.
Of Corsican hiking.
Yeah.
You get to experience the beauty of the island.
Yeah.
Without necessarily like pushing your limits to the extreme.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the trail that started it all.
Right.
I'm curious about the origins of the GR20 itself.
Yeah.
What sparked the idea for this ambitious route?
Well, it was the brainchild of two hiking enthusiasts,
Okay.
Marcel Schluck and Guy Dagos.
Okay.
Their vision was to create a challenging trail that would connect the entire island
Wow.
and showcase its diverse landscapes.
So given the already challenging terrain,
Yeah.
what do you think motivated Schluck and Dagos to conceive of such an ambitious trail?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Was it purely a love of hiking?
Yeah.
Or were there other factors at play?
It's fascinating. I think they wanted to create something special, a route that wouldn't just test you physically,
Right.
but also create like a sense of community.
That sense of community that you mentioned earlier with the hikers, sharing stories and meals in the refuges.
Exactly.
Really adds another dimension to the GR20 experience.
For sure.
It's not just you against nature, it's like a shared journey.
That's right. And that shared experience,
Yeah. That camaraderie forged in the face of adversity.
Right.
That's something that many hikers cherish.
It speaks to a deeper human need
Does.
for connection and belonging.
Absolutely.
It's interesting how something as physically demanding as hiking
Right.
can also become a catalyst for these deeper social and emotional connections.
It highlights the multifaceted nature of the GR20.
Right.
It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity for personal growth,
Okay.
self-discovery, and connection with nature and fellow humans.
So we've talked about the physical demands,
Right.
the gear,
Yeah.
the mental fortitude required to tackle the GR20.
Yeah.
But what about the environmental impact?
That's a good point.
With thousands of hikers traversing this trail every year,
Right.
are there concerns about sustainability
Definitely.
and preservation?
The popularity of the GR20 has undoubtedly raised concerns about its impact.
Yeah.
Erosion, trail degradation, waste management.
Right. These are all challenges that need to be addressed.
So how are these challenges being tackled? Are there initiatives in place?
Yeah, there are ongoing efforts to promote responsible hiking practices.
Okay.
So encouraging hikers to pack out all their waste,
Right.
stay on designated trails, respect the fragile ecosystem.
For sure.
And some organizations are working on trail maintenance and restoration projects
Okay.
to mitigate, erosion and damage.
It's encouraging to hear that there's a focus on preserving this incredible trail for future generations.
Absolutely.
And after all, the GR20 is a shared resource,
It is.
and it's our collective responsibility to protect it.
Yeah, and that sense of stewardship extends beyond just the GR20.
Right.
It applies to any natural environment we choose to explore.
It's a reminder that adventure should always go hand in hand with respect for the places we visit.
Totally.
Now, thinking back to our listener,
Yeah.
the individual who's been absorbing all this information
Right. Yeah.
about the GR20, I wonder what's going through their mind.
I don't know, maybe they're picturing themselves navigating those rocky paths.
Yeah.
Feeling that Corsican sun on their skin,
Right.
Sharing stories with fellow hikers in a cozy refuge.
Or maybe they're contemplating their own personal GR20.
That's a good point.
That challenge,
Right.
that goal,
Yeah.
that seems daunting yet alluring.
Perhaps they're realizing that the lessons learned on the GR20,
Okay.
resilience, perseverance, the
Yeah.
power of community can be applied to any aspect of life.
That's a great point. It's not just about hiking.
No.
It's about embracing challenges,
For sure.
pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
and discovering what we're truly capable of.
And whether that challenge is a physical endeavor,
Right.
a creative pursuit or a personal goal,
Yeah.
the spirit of the GR20 can be a real source of inspiration.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the GR20, I
Okay.
encourage our listener to reflect on what they've learned.
Yeah.
What resonates with them?
Right.
What insights have sparked their curiosity?
Maybe they're inspired to lace up their boots and explore a local trail.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're motivated to tackle that long postponed project.
Whatever it may be, remember the lessons of the GR20.
Yeah.
Preparation, resilience, and the power of community.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, embrace the journey.
Yes.
For it's in the striving that we truly discover ourselves.
Beautifully put. The GR20 is more than just a trail.
Right.
It's a metaphor for life's journey with all its challenges, rewards, and those moments of shared humanity.
And, if you're looking for a visual taste of the GR20, I highly recommend checking out some pictures online.
Oh yeah, the scenery is really something else.
Yeah.
Those photos capture the rugged beauty of the Corsican mountains,
Right.
The wildflowers, the colors, the scale of the landscapes.
I've heard that even seasoned hikers are just awestruck by the views.
Oh yeah.
It's one thing to hear about the GR20,
Right.
but to actually see it with your own eyes.
It's a whole other thing. Sometimes words just don't do it justice,
Yeah, they fall short.
You gotta experience it